Did any of my family show up?
What?
Is my family here?
Yeah.
Okay. They made it.
Yeah, they're here. Don't worry.
Can I make sure they got the diaper on the dog? Are we starting at 6:15 or are we gonna wait a little bit?
People are coming in. It's a
Didn't know
small
how, like,
crowd.
your live stream works.
Yeah, the live stream starts 6:15.
Okay. Then I'm gonna start playing this.
I gotta grab another microphone.
Everything work out with Lou?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to our first wine and welcome of the summer. We thank Michael Cohen and Leah for sponsoring it. It's the sign that summer has begun, is that we get together beforehand and enjoy our entry into Shabbat together, and then be in our service, and then go on, and there's still like 4 hours of sunlight after we're done. That's how you know summer's here in Ohio. And that we have our friends from Florida who are back. We have a number of people who are back joining us. And so the Shears and the Bernsteins, we welcome you. And any others that are back. Did I miss anybody who came back from Florida? Wonderful. Back from school. Where are we, what are we now? What are we? About to be a senior. You are a senior. You can say you're a senior now. Yeah. Wonderful. So it's good to see people back from their other homes and back here for the summer. In terms of announcements, this weekend is Mitzvah Day. So I don't know, Art was here. Where's Art? Can people still sign up, or is it totally, yeah, there's still open projects if you want at the last minute to join. We have a lot of people participating tomorrow and Sunday. So if you want to participate in any number of the projects, it looks like the weather's going to be good, I think. Yes, weather's good. And projects all over the city. So if you have a couple hours and you want to help out or do some help with the food bank or around any number of other nonprofits around town, and particularly Sunday, 3:30, is that right? 3:30 Sunday in this room. There's a wonderful program, so I'm told, that some people had experienced at Prince of Pete's Church, a partner church of ours last year, with a number of young residents of Akron who share their stories around gun violence and the way that guns are impacting their lives on a daily basis. And so that, I've been told, is a program that's not to be missed. So if you haven't signed up for anything and you want to participate, 3:30 on Sunday, followed by, of course, the Swenson's dinner. So you get rewarded for that. So please join us for Mitzvah Day. And then we're into our summer routine with wine and welcomes throughout the rest of the summer. There are, I think, still a few that are open if you want to celebrate a family member or sponsor one. We love it when people sponsor our wine and welcomes, and it's a great way to honor special anniversaries or birthdays, remember loved ones. So feel free to contact the office if you want to do that. We'll start now with our candle blessing. We'll invite Michael and Leah up as we'll begin on page 2 in our prayer books.
Okay. We light these candles to rejoice in the freedom we share with each other. It is the light that beckons us, the light of peace, the light of hope, the light of mitzvot. As we kindle these lights, may we bring strength to one another as we are inspired by the light of our tradition.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu v'tzisav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. If you'll raise the Kiddush cup there, we'll join together in Kiddush, which is page 5.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
Thank you. Page 10, Hinei ma tov u'mana'im, how good it is for us to be together with friends and family and neighbors and newcomers. We welcome each other with the words at the top of page 10.
Hinei ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. Together. Hinei ma tov u'mana'im shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad.
turn to page 20 in our prayer books, to the Kabbalistic words, the words written by the mystics of Lecha Dodi. At the time that they wrote this, they would actually go outside the synagogue. They would start Shabbat by entering into the fields and looking up at the sky and connecting with nature and reminding themselves that Shabbat was not something that happened just inside. It doesn't just happen around their tables. It doesn't just happen because they say it does. It happens because of how we interact with the world, that we try to change the way that we interact with time for the next day. And so we begin Lecha Dodi first with a little contemplation of our last week. We take the first couple verses to allow ourselves to remind ourselves of all the people we spoke with, all the things we accomplished, all the hard work we did. And then we'll shift the tune to one of joy and Shabbat feeling as we remember that we're changing this time for ourselves and we're making it a sacred day, a day that we will enter into Mitzvah Day, a day for us that comes once a year of doing great work, but special work, different work than we do during the week, and also a day to be with community. So we'll do the first 2 verses as we think about our week, the last 2 verses as we think about this next day, page 20 and 21.
Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela B'nei Shabbat Yekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Yishmianu El HaMiuchad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad L'Shem U'Letiferet U'Letilah Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela B'nei Shabbat Yekabela
Now put the week behind us as we enter into Shabbat. Verse 5, page 21.
Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela Lecha Dodi Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela.
Verse 5.
Hitoreri Kiva Oref Umi Uri Shir Daberi Kevod Adonai Ala Itnikla Lecha Dodi Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Yekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala
B'nei Shabbat Yekabela. Please rise as we welcome Shabbat from outside this room or outside your homes, those joining us at home, into this space wherever we are. We welcome Shabbat. Verse 9.
Bohi v'shalom ateret bala Gam besimcha u'b'tola Toch emunei am segula ichala bo ichala. Lecha dodi dodi, lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Page 26, we remain standing. Hatzi Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitgadal shemei Rabba ve'amad yivrachu te ve'amlich malchute ve'chayechonu v'yomechon u'chayedecho bet Yisrael bagala bagala uvizman kariv ve'imeru amen yehesh me Rabba mevorach Ve'olam olam me'omaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitbar V'yitroman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Barichu Ve'elav Mimcho Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiran Be'alma Ve'meru Amen.
On pages 28 and 29, this prayer we often use as an introduction to a series of prayers leading to our Shema is a reminder that so often in our world we are singled out as individuals, but when we come into spaces like this, that our goal is to lift our voices higher, but in unison, to unite with all creatures, with all world, to fill the universe with song. Nevarech, we are asked to bless together as we share the words of Baruch Hu, our call to worship, the top of page 28.
Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach, le'olam va'ed.
Please be seated. We continue page 31. Please join with me at the bottom of the page. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? For this is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv, Aravim. Avat Olam, a prayer for the most broad sense of love to be a part of our lives and our world, page 32.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Ukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadta, Otanu limadta. בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם בית ישראל ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל.
Pages 34 and 35, the words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Continue together, page 36, V'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ושופך ובקומך ושרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
As this is our Shabbat entering into Mitzvah Day, one of the great aspects of many Mitzvah days, but our Mitzvah Day in particular, is the partnerships that we formed over the years. You may be walking around Akron sometimes, and people will be wearing a Temple Israel Mitzvah Day T-shirt, and they may have never been to Temple Israel, but they've done Mitzvah Day. There's any number of people who join together for the good deeds that happen over this weekend. And it's a reminder of how shared our efforts and values and vision is for our city and how closely connected we really are, even though in today's world it seems that all of us could have lots of labels that would separate us and be put into boxes that say we shouldn't be in a room together. But in fact, we're really working more often than not towards the same goal. And so we know that right outside our door there is always work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done within inside our doors too. But we also know that we don't do that work alone. And so we turn to page 40, the words of Micha Mocha, as the reading on page 39 reminds us there's no way to get from here to wherever we need to be in our world other than by joining with other people and doing the work together. And we remind ourselves that the Israelites, as they left Egypt, were not just Israelites. They were actually what the Torah calls a mixed multitude of people from all different backgrounds, with all different sorts of ideas, with all sorts of different families, marching out of Egypt and trying to find freedom, but they all could sing together as they realized that the future had something in store for them. Page 40, we share those words, Micha Mocha, together as we enter into this weekend, and we continue to look forward to a future where we're marching together. Page 40.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei feled, Nora tehilot osei feled. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeh yam lifnei Moshe. Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei feled, Nora tehilot osei feled.
Let there be love and understanding among us, God. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. The words of Hashkivenu, our evening prayer to find a sense of peace even as the day grows dark. We continue to look towards the ways in which we can feel safe with each other in these safe spaces and hopefully well beyond these walls. Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, shalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning light. Teach us, God, wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen. O Adonai. Amen. Amen, amen. Amen, amen, amen. O Adonai.
Page 46, we turn to the words of the next 15 pages, are really one prayer. Many words on each of the pages. You can use them however you'd like as we're going through them, but ultimately the most important part is the silent prayer at the end, where we write our own words for this moment, whatever words you need said. Page 46, please rise as we begin this series of prayers together.
Adonai sefatai tifach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Gula livnei b'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רע להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני,
מחיי הכל. אתה הקדוש, ושמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. Baruch אתה Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please be seated. On page 55, we offer this prayer for all who are here and all among our family, all who especially take this day to be a day separated from the rest. We ask, God, that these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We'll turn now to our words for the greatest sense of peace to find its way, particularly to those who are fighting wars, the wars in Ukraine, in Israel and Gaza. Anywhere where innocent people are suffering, we ask for a shalom rav, a sense of peace to find its way to their homes. Page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol b'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Take a moment for our own personal prayers.
Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ose shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
Page 253. Having offered peace to all of the places in the world that are far from here, we now think about the inner circles of our life, the people whom we love, who may be in the hospital right now, or who may be suffering in their homes right now. Our children, our spouses, our parents, our friends, those struggling for their bodies to heal, for their minds to be whole. We offer the words of Misha Berach as we invite you, if you'd like, to share their names out loud or to yourself in the midst of the prayer as we offer these words of strength for all of those we love. Page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
If there are names you'd like to share, please share them as I look around the room. Phil. Neil Kodesh and Julie Miner.
Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. So, the rabbis, not the rabbis like me, the rabbis of the Talmud who wrote a century ago, a millennium ago, really, more than a century ago. It's often there are times where they write pieces and we say, well, gosh, they were crazy. And then there are times where you read what they wrote and you say, they were brilliant. So I want to share one of the ones that I think is simple but brilliant. And that is, they write about what the sons of Jacob in the Torah, they imagine in a midrash, in a story, they imagine what the sons of Jacob must have said when Jacob died. Jacob was this patriarch who more than Isaac and more than Abraham, we know more about his relationship with his children. He's the father of these tribes, right? So we sometimes call ourselves B'nai Yaakov, the children of Jacob, who Jacob took on the name Israel, of course. So when he dies, the Midrash says that the sons got together and they said, Jacob, our father, did not die. We will not believe that he died because we can't think of a world where our Father doesn't exist to guide and to teach and to lead us. And therefore, we refuse to believe that he has died. Now, some take that literally and understand that what the sons of Jacob were saying is that they actually believe he was still alive. Some take it more philosophically, psychologically. They say, physically perhaps he died. We might say this today. Physically somebody died, but they're still living within me. We might be able to accept that a little bit better. But what's brilliant in my mind about what the rabbis are pointing out some 1,000 years ago is that one of our most common responses to the tragedy of loss is immediate denial. That the first thing that we seem to say against rational thought is, this didn't happen. Or we might not even say anything. We might just say, I'm just going to pretend it didn't happen. I'm not going to look. So when things happen, like a month ago now, I think, in Washington, D.C., where 2 people are shot simply because they're Jewish, or as we came to learn, one of them wasn't even Jewish but was thought to be Jewish. Or when this crowd now in Boulder, Colorado is attacked, one response, just like when somebody dies, is to say, I'm just not going to look. I'm going to go to Giant Eagle. I'm going to go run my errands. I'm going to go take my kids to school. I'm going to focus on my life. And I don't live in Boulder, Colorado. I don't live in Washington, D.C. And therefore, I'm going to live in denial. Because there are benefits to denial. Denial protects us from the pain. It means I don't have to worry about, boy, that could have been me, or my kid, or somebody I know. I don't have to worry about, there are scary people out there in the world that want to do harm to perfect strangers for really not good reasons. That there's enough hate in the world and enough weapons in the world and enough access to violence in the world that people walking down the street can get attacked. So I'm going to choose to be in denial because I don't want to think about all the things that scare me, and I don't want to deal with whatever is going to hurt me. So I don't want to cry, so I'm not going to deal with it. Denial. That's one thing. It protects us from that moment. The second thing denial can do is it distorts reality, because the reality is bad things have happened. So if I'm in denial, if I refuse to know that Jacob, my father, died, I might be protecting myself from that immediate vulnerability, but Jacob did, in fact, die. I'm taking reality and I'm shifting it somehow in a way that doesn't work, because at some point, I'm going to come to the realization that what I'm telling myself is, in fact, not true. So there's another option, of course, which Judaism pushes us towards pretty hard, pretty fervently, and that is acceptance. Acceptance says, I'm going to turn towards what happened that scares me, and I'm going to be vulnerable. And I might cry, or I might be scared, or I might not know the answer, or I might realize that places I felt were safe maybe aren't as safe as I thought they were. But the benefit, the second part of acceptance is acceptance, whereas denial distorts reality. It says reality is not something it is, right? It says I refuse to believe that. Acceptance doesn't just allow you to see what reality is. Acceptance actually gives us, at least in our tradition we believe this, among others, acceptance can actually augment reality. It can actually take the reality that we're so afraid of, the fear of death or the fear of loss of someone, and it can take that fear and it can actually make it into something meaningful. It doesn't mean that the bad thing didn't happen, but it can take a moment that scared us and make it a moment that inspires us. Not always, but it can happen. I fell into this line of thought because of the last few weeks, and I've been upset and scared, as I know many people have, and these are the discussions happening in the Jewish community about how many of them are how afraid we are in these moments and how alone we feel when people are attacked for simply marching, not for anything necessarily even controversial, but to bring hostages home. But it came up also because Skip Radwany, who's our incoming president, one of our co-presidents, he had forwarded a podcast to me. Some of you may have listened to it. It's Ezra Klein's interview with Catherine Schultz from a couple weeks ago. Catherine Schultz is the author. She's a regular contributor in The New Yorker, but she also wrote a book called Lost and Found, Reflections on Grief, Gratitude, and Happiness. And she was talking about this balance between acceptance and denial. That's part of her book, which I haven't read yet, but the podcast was great. And in that, she tells this story in which she moved with her partner to a somewhat rural home. And as they were moving into the home, they have, at the time, their daughter was really young. I don't know how young, but I imagine younger than elementary school. And they're moving into this new house, and they're all stressed about, as you are when you get a new house. They had things they wanted to do to the house, and they wanted to fix the kitchen, and they want to, update the living room, and they got to get a new roof, and there's all this stress, as many of us know, with getting a new house. And so she, as a new homeowner, is worrying about all these details, and particularly, she said she's thinking about the backsplash. What backsplash are we going to put in the kitchen? And her child is out in the yard and pulls up this really tall piece of grass, which is actually a stalk of wheat. And she brings it to her, and she says, "Mommy, what is this? This is the biggest piece of grass I've ever seen." And her mother says, "Well, that's a piece of wheat." "Well, what's wheat, Mom?" "Well, wheat we use to make bread." "We can make bread from what's right in our yard, in our new house? That's amazing." Her daughter said, "We have a lot of it, Mommy. We could feed all these people who are hungry that we hear about. Couldn't we use all this wheat to make bread, to feed the people who need food? How lucky we are to have this house." She shares this story because in that moment, as she was worrying about the backsplash, she realized that her daughter had transformed something that was totally mundane to her, the yard. Just the tall grass in the yard, her daughter realized could save someone's life in her little 4 or 5-year-old view, right? And it changed the moment for her, because her daughter saw in their new home not a lot of stress and decisions, but opportunity. That's what it means to transform or augment a reality. It's not just grass growing in your front yard, it's the potential to feed people. That's something totally different. This is what Judaism believes. It says in Leviticus, a verse that is one of the sources for the service of Havdalah, the ceremony where we light a candle at the end of Shabbat and end Shabbat in this beautiful way. It says, "Ulhavdil," like Havdalah, "bein hakodesh," you shall separate between what's holy, uvein hachol, what is profane or mundane, we might say. This, you shall separate from the holy and from the regular, I would say. And it continues, and also from the impure and the pure. It's equating what is regular and typical and usual with what is impure, and what is unique and separated and different. That's the holy. And one of the pieces of what is profane or impure, the most common example of what is impure in the Torah is what is dead. You aren't to touch something that has died. You are to know that if you do that, that you become unclean yourself. We're uncomfortable with a lot of the language around it. But just for a second, bear with me. That death was known to be normal and daily and regular and something that people were in touch with, and that they knew if you were in touch with something that had died, you needed to do something to transform yourself to being pure again. So the rabbis created, and really the Torah, the priests created rituals that would take this moment of mourning and transform that person back into being something sacred and unique and holy. And they did that through rituals. We do the same thing today. You take a couple and they fall in love, and we use a ritual and it transforms them. It's not the act of what makes them in love, but it takes their status and it changes it to now being married, right? You have a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah, and that's the moment at which we celebrate a transformation from being a 12-year-old boy to a 13-year-old man, right? We use rituals to transform these moments. Schultz in the interview says, she has this great quote. She says, "Grief heightens our sense of attention, and it allows us to become profoundly in awe and grateful for life." Those of us who've been through grieving processes and who have turned into them, I would argue, know that they can be incredibly difficult, but usually there's a point at which when we face them, we might say, I now can see how beautiful my life is, or how amazing it was that I got to spend this time with that person. As opposed to thinking about the loss, you're thinking about the gain. That's a transformational moment from something that was mundane, the death, makes us vulnerable, to something that's beautiful and awe-inspiring and says, you know what? Life is short. You say life is short, that's because you know grief. And then you say, and life can be beautiful, so I better embrace it and make the most of it. So, back to Washington, D.C. and Boulder, Colorado. How do we transform these moments that scare us, that shake our reality, that make us wonder if the world is safe for Jews? And I don't just say this as a cheap plug, because I don't mean it that way. But perhaps it's wonderful timing, or perhaps it's just ironic. What could be better than Mitzvah Day for that? What's the reaction? What is it that we're scared of in response to two very public anti-Semitic violent attacks? The denial reaction would be, let me hide. The denial reaction would be, let me not talk about it. The denial reaction would be, I'm going to put my Jewish star inside my shirt and not let people see it. The acceptance reaction would be, that's scary and terrible, and I believe that I can transform this moment into something more. That I can get out there and where these terrible situations make me feel the world is attacking us, I believe the world is actually by our side. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to go improve my community alongside dozens of churches. I'm going to wear a t-shirt that says Mitzvah Day on it, not put my star inside my shirt. I'm going to go help other people so that they, in their possibly could be their first interaction with Jews, period, but let's say it's not. Let's say, which is probably more common, that over the last 3 weeks, all they've heard about Jewish people in the news is how we're being attacked. But tomorrow and Sunday, they're going to interact with groups of Jewish people and people who are friends with Jewish people who are doing good deeds and helping the elderly and helping those who need food and the homeless. We're going to change the story, transform the moment. That's what it means to go from what is mundane to what is holy. And so grief is scary until it reminds us how profound our lives are. And we've done Mitzvah Day for how many years now? I don't know what year we're in. 40? 30? 2002? Okay, so 23 years. Maybe this year it means a little bit more because of the last month. Maybe in a normal year, Mitzvah Day is just a day when we get together and do wonderful things as a Jewish community with our Christian friends. Maybe this year it is more powerful because we are saying we are not just people who get attacked. We're people who help. We're people involved in our Jewish community and our non-Jewish community. And we're people who bring a blessing into the world by doing these things. I hope that's the case. I hope that we can do what that little girl did with a piece of wheat. She happens to be Jewish because I know her mother's from Shaker Heights and grew up Jewish. I don't know what her Jewish background is, but if she has a little bit of Jewish education, perhaps her mom would say to her, you know, when we take the wheat and we make it into bread, Judaism tells us we have to do one other thing. We have to say a blessing, because that's the amazing, beautiful, holy thing is hamotzi lechem min haaretz. This came from the earth that was outside our doorstep, and now it feeds people. That's a transformational moment that makes a piece of wheat something that's not mundane. If a little girl can do that, I hope that we can do the same. We fight the urge to be in denial. We turn towards the urge of acceptance, and we find that it has the ability to transform us and to transform the times we're in. Shabbat Shalom. We'll turn now to Aleinu, page 282. In our prayer books, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tei gdula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahen, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu.
Emar v'haya Adonai l'melech ol kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. Our thoughts turn now to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and of death. We remember this week Esther Bober, who was lost to the Bober family in this past month, as we offer our continued condolences to them. And we remember those that we lost at this time in years past. I, Alan Barnett, Milton Cohen, Benjamin Friedman, Meyer Goldberg, Ben Goodman, Jess Greenberger, Dr. Charles Green, Dr. Morris Kalman, Gwen Kirkman, Bennett Cloner, Julius Collar, Henry Landskroner, William Lazaro, Jack Letterman, Isaac Lieberman, Dr. Harry Lieberman, Gail Ann Perry, Ruth Pollack, Phyllis Polsky, Nancy Rebeck, Morris Reichenstein, Barbara Rosenfeld, Sylvia Rosenthal, Katie Rawson, Solomon Seenberg, Ida Sigalo, Marvin Mickey Sussman, Julia Kaplan Wine, Dr. Irwin Weiner, and Helen Joby West. If there are names I mispronounced or names you'd like to add, please share them. Yeah. Remember our loved ones as we rise, page 294. We honor their memories with the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach irutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael b'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei almaya Yit barak v'yishtabach v'yit ba'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh v'yit adar v'yit alev v'yit halal Shemei dekudusha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechamata, ta'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Having connected with those that we loved and lost, we invite you to connect with those people around you if you would like, as we bless each other with the words of the priests. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Amen.
You can be seated as before we close with the words of Motzi and a closing song. Any good moments in people's lives this week? I know I speak for a lot of our children as they had the last day of school. Yeah. And adults, yes. All of those who work in the school systems got their have their freedom back for a few weeks at least. Any other great? Yep. Okay.
Jack's Weintraub, my grandson, was confirmed at Temple Israel West.
Wonderful. That's in our affiliate a confirmation for a grandchild. That's wonderful. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Welcomed onto the Hillel board member at Ohio University. Wonderful. Any others? Any other good news? Nothing? No. Oh, Dewey's on Monday. Thank you. Monday night is Dewey's Pizza night. We can all enjoy Dewey's Pizza and raise money for the religious school. Just tell them that you're there on behalf of Temple Israel. So please go get, thank you for saying that. Go get pizza on Monday night. That's great. And the annual meeting is Tuesday. Pizza Monday, barbecue on Tuesday. Thank you. And Swenson Sunday. We're feeding you 3 days in a row. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Diet starts Wednesday. That's so yeah. Please join us. Swenson's on Sunday, pizza Monday, and barbecue Tuesday. I didn't think about that. That's great. Best meal plan in town. So we bless all those moments we get to be with each other for the positives in life, the blessings with Shakianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Together in Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. We thank Noah for being here. It's always wonderful to have Noah in town. And we'll close with Devo Shalom Aleinu. What are we? I don't know. Whatever you're
I
closing.
had Tree of Life.
Great Tree of Life. That's even better.
It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Spilled my words on the ice cream. I don't know if
I don't know why.
cue sheet than you. Well, my mom put Ojabo in. But
Hey.
this one was sitting on my.
Really good song. That was deep. Anyways. Good job with everything else. And what else?